If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. Tuesday edition of the Rico Report, brought to you by Buffalo Finesse. Y'all know who it is, folks. Regular season is in the book. Ain't no games to be played in the regular season. This is do or die. You know what I mean? Kill or be killeth. Because, bro, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I'm gonna be real. I'm going to be as real as I can with y'all. I am nervous. I ain't playing with y'all, man, because as confident as I am in the team, I'm still nervous. Because it's not like, we'll get him next week, champ. There's none of that. There's, you go home and you gotta sit here and just stew. Stew. That's the best word I could use right now, because that's how it feels when there's so much potential for your team, and then we just don't get it done. Like, I was furious when we lost against the Bengals. I was absolutely furious. Why? Because I knew what we put on the field was absolute nonsense. So we had to stew and point fingers at oh, man, I don't ever want to go back to that. If I don't know if you guys are like me, but if you are, do me a favor. Don't let me be alone in this. Are y'all nervous? Because I am. And if somebody tells you that they're not and they feel real good and all that stuff, bro, we're not showing or giving enough respect to the Broncos. We're not showing or giving enough respect to the Broncos. And I know, and some folks will say, well, who have they played? Like, who have they played? Let me tell you something real quick. All right. Nothing more. Thank you, Z-Bot. Z-Bot knows what's going on, man. He's nervous as hell. Right? Nothing stings more or gives you, not even stings, gives you more anxiety than knowing, like, all right, we made it to the playoffs. 0 is 0. 0. You know how the mantra's always been 0-1 and let's keep it rolling, right? That's always been the mantra. This feels different. Every playoff game feels different. It's like getting in a fight. Get hit first, and then you kind of get that out the way because you're nervous, and then let's get it on. So the first 15 to 20 plays, bro, I'm gonna be nervous as heck. You know what I mean? If we go 3 and out, I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? What's going on? My heart's gonna be pumping, right? And nothing, I don't want to say America, because everyone loves an underdog story. And the Broncos have an absolute underdog story. Let's keep it real with one another, right? They do have an underdog story. And it goes like this. You know what I mean? You go and get Sean Payton. I mean, the history on Sean Payton, I mean, you know, the whole gate that was happening over in New Orleans and all that stuff with him. Anyway, so you get past all that, all right? And he gets to a new team. They trade for him, and it's all the hoopla, and Russell Wilson is supposed to be that team. And then they oust Russell Wilson, and they owe him a whole boatload of money. Then you find, you know what I mean, little sayings of, he manipulated the draft and he made some team think that he was going for that quarterback, but he really got the guy he wanted. And it's looking great right now because he got Bo Nix and that whole Broncos team to their playoff. I think the first time they made the playoffs is 2015. Bro, give them some credit for that. So the underdog story is written right there. The rookie, right? The coach that, you know what I mean, that he's respected. He just needed the right piece. He knew that Russell Wilson wasn't his guy. So he was like, yo, out you go. Brings the rookie in. Now they're going up against the big, bad Bills. Bro, you're going to see America, you know what I mean? They're going to try to flip it so good to try to give them a story, and I'm going to hate it. Because Buffalo's used to being the underdog. You know what I mean? And now we're not. So, like, we gotta get past that. We got to get past that, and this is where the competitor to me and the guy that wants the team to win so bad, this is where you want the Bills to stomp that ass so bad to make all the people thinking that there could be a storyline, and you get it. They're creating a storyline to hype it up. I hate it. I hate the hype up because now it creates a little bit of doubt of myself. I'm like, oh shoot, all right, hold on now. So let me just not talk about it. Let me just get into what this team is really about. All right. So the nervousness is there. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's just you don't want your team to lose, and you want your team to win. You want your team to win the whole thing. But the pesky Broncos are in the way, and they're an underrated Broncos. I'm gonna keep it all the way a buck with you. So here's the deal: Vegas has these Bills opening up at 8.5. All right, I've seen it as high as the 9 points, but 8.5. That in itself has probably got the locker room right now kind of like, oh, so 8.5. That's how y'all see us. I bet I got something for you. I would have wished that they said, yo, -2. Then I would have been like, all right, bet. Buffalo, they're not respecting you. So -8 kind of be like, all right, there's a little something, a little motivation on the Broncos end. All right, so that's number one. Let's get that out the way, right? There's that underdog story part, right? The Bills are -8. The Broncos don't have a chance. They're on the road. All that stuff is going to try to stir up. The rookie versus the guy that won the MVP. You know he's going to win it. So all those storylines are going to start being created, and I hate it. That's why I want to get to this game, crush them, and let's go on and get to business. But anyway, let me continue. So Daryl gets me, man. He's like, I'm real nervous, fam. Hey, okay, we together in this. We together in this. All right, so let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about these Broncos. Let's talk about our Bills. So how this is going to play out and how the storylines are going to be played out. There's a few things, but the main thing that we got to talk about are the trenches. That's really the nitty gritty of how this game is going to be played out. You can't talk about, oh, they're a warm weather team. They're a dome team. Welcome to the elements. We can't pull that with the Broncos, right? Mile high. I mean, they play in the elements too. I mean, not as dire, not as cold as Buffalo per se, but they're in that. They're in the mess. So it's all about the trenches. So here's something really interesting that played out today. I'm going to see if I can get that into the background. All right. Oh, I didn't save it. Did I save it? I didn't save it. But it's no big deal. So it turns out our Bills are one of the best O-line in the game. We know that. Josh Allen, one of the least sacked quarterback in 2024. 14 sacks taken. 14 sacks. Unbelievable year by the Buffalo Bills O-line. 14 sacks. Oh, by the way, the Broncos, they led the league with 63 sacks. Not only did they lead the league, they led it by a good margin. The next team in line, 54 sacks. So these boys get after it. So I was like, oh, who? Because I remember asking Z about the other day. I was like, yo, and no disrespect to the Broncos because we just don't know too much about them. Same like a lot of players that don't know much about our receiving core. They don't know much about our defensive backs. They don't know much about the people on our team, which is fine. We'll take it. We don't have the household names. I love it, right? You hear Josh Allen, you hear Deion Dawkins, and then Amari Cooper. But when you start kind of looking around, the average fan may not know a lot of guys in our squad. Let's get back to the Broncos. These Broncos, bro, they got some boys on that squad, man. They got Nick Bonito, 13.5 sacks by that brother. Jonathan Cooper, 10.5 sacks by Jonathan Cooper. So these boys get after it. Zach Allen. Pierre and I were just chopping it up a little bit ago. He's like, yo, I'm watching Broncos games now, but this Zach Allen guy, he is popping off. 6'5", 285, Boston College, big boy. He's going to be barreling down. He's got 8.5 sacks. So there's about, give or take, 30 sacks right there with them boys. Those three are going to be a menace. But hold on now. We got a little something on our side. The O-line. Remember I told you 14 sacks? Check this out. Our three interior linemen, because I think this is where the battle will begin and end, right in the middle. Let me tell you something. Our center, Connor McGovern, 538 pass snaps. Osiris Torrance, 546 pass snaps. Edwards, 542 pass snaps. That's almost 1,500 over 1,500 passing snaps right there. 0 sacks. So you got 63 sacks coming your way, just flying all over the place, and you got these boys in the middle. Hey, hold on now. We got our guy back here. We good. Yo, there's going to be a battle in the trenches, which then makes me now look at the other side. Well, how good is the O-line of the Broncos? Folks, they got some hoggies on that squad. No wonder Bo Nix is out there looking like that dude. Let me show you a little something. I just want to show you a little something that I was kind of, I got my man Bartek. Shout out to my man Bartek that was hit me up in the chat. We were chatting it up about these boys. And he was like, yo, check this out, man. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but yo, you might want to take a look at this. I was like, what? Talk to me, bro. So I'm looking at these Broncos, right? Hold on real quick. So according to PFF, number one O-line in the game. Oh, there goes my little Bonum. The number one O-line in the game, little Rico. Let me get my little guys there. Number one O-line in the game. Okay. 78 in the pass. 64. I think it was how was it broken down? I gotta make sure that I got it down pat. All right. So their tackles were graded at a 78. Their guards were graded at a 64. And their center graded at a 6.7 and with an average of 72. The number one O-line, according to PFF. Bro. So what do we worry about the most when we talk about, oh man, if our defense shows up, we need our defense to show up and the trenches, we got to win in the trenches. Bro, we need guys like this guy to show up. You know who that guy is. That guy today put out some bulletin board material. I wasn't a big fan of the bulletin board. I don't know if you guys are familiar. There's some young cats in here that might not know what I'm referring to. So let me show you. If you guys are 80s babies, or at least, you know what I mean, at least kind of know a little bit about certain movies that are out there. There's a movie by the name of New Jack City. I don't know if you know New Jack City. One of my favorite actors, Wesley Snipes, was in that movie. That boy is a bad man. Bad man. And I don't know about how you guys feel about bulletin board material. I kind of like it, but I don't like it at the same time. So I have a love and hate relationship with bulletin board material. So the 8.5 spread is already kind of like, okay, but that had nothing to do with us. All right. And here comes Von Miller posting a picture. And I get it. The picture is not really to take a shot at the Broncos. It's more, you know what I mean, paying respect to the Broncos. And I'm going to share my screen real quick so you guys know, you understand where I'm coming from. He's paying respect to the Broncos, saying, hey, that's the squad that brought me to, you know what I mean, the squad. That's the squad that drafted me, that brought me there. He put the old scene where Nino, you know what I'm saying, had to have a little conversation with G, baby. You know me, G Money. And you know the rest. So he put that out there. So if I'm a Broncos player, and I see this, and I'm like, oh, okay. So he's going to put us down. He's going to take us out is what he's going. I get it. What do you want me to say, Rico? What do you want me to say? Of course he wants to win. I get it. But if I'm a player and I know this movie, I was like, no, bro. I'm about to put the reverse Uno on you and try to at least. So I feel like this puts a little more into this game. So I was like, all right, bet. So if you're going to put something out there like that, my guy, you better become Von Miller. I mean, that's ready to go. Von Miller just juiced up, charged up, and you're playing against your former team, which I totally get. Boy, oh boy, he better bring it. He absolutely better bring it, right? And this is why I feel like this matchup between us and these Broncos is going to be a tighter one than I anticipated. I thought that, you know what, we're all sitting here, give us the Broncos. We don't want the Bengals. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for. And I'm not sitting here that I'm shook. Not at all. Very confident in what these Bills can do. But I also got to have respect for the Broncos. You got to give them some respect. So I was looking at their squad and seeing what they had on their defense. I'm like, man, they got something going on. I didn't even mention Pat Surtain. Locked down. Now, let me kind of give you a little something what I feel could take place. Because Pat Surtain is such a lockdown corner, the type of corner that will travel. I could see, if you guys remember what the Jets did to us week 1, or was it the week 2 of last year? They locked our guy Stephon Diggs up. And then they said, we'll take your number one weapon away from you, Josh. You got to deal with the rest of our defense. Good luck. Have fun. Right? So I have a feeling the Broncos are going to try to do that, right? Pat Surtain, they'll put him on Amari Cooper, which is probably going to be the game plan in the first place, to try to say, you know what? If Pat Surtain is going to take out our number one receiver, that's fine, because I got my 800-yard receiver in Khalil Shakir. I got my boy Dalton Kincaid. I got my boy James Cook. We'll worry about this half of the field if so be it. But I hate that they've got a talented guy enough that they'll try and take away half the field. Problem is, you're not dealing with some just regular old Joe quarterback. You got Josh Allen. And I don't think Josh Allen fears no man. He will go at your ass regardless. So Amari Cooper, and this is why I was like, I really wish and hope that those two would have built a stronger connection. Not that they haven't, but I really wish that those two would have built a stronger connection during the season. So by this time, they're in lockstep. But I don't feel that those two are in lockstep yet. Obviously, the nursing of the injury didn't help. Obviously, Amari Cooper with the cast on his hand, that didn't help. And just him starting to learn the system and all that good stuff. So they're lacking a little bit. A full offseason, I'd have all the confidence. But right now, I'm like, I'm unsure. So this is where this game is going to be crucial. Can Amari Cooper become such a baller in this game that they come out and show out, and whether you have Pat Surtain on me or not, don't matter. We're going to connect. Or it's one of those games where he's not involved in this game, but doing his job of keeping him occupied, and then allows Josh Allen to do what he needs to do. Some of the things I've been kind of mulling in my brain. Let me continue. So looking at some of the things that we got in this line. So the Bills interior line has been doing excellent. Great all year. We need that going into this playoffs, because everybody can rush a passer. Everybody can throw the football. You know what I mean? They have their guy in Courtland Sutton. They do have a boy. They got Marvin Mims that can get the ball moving the chains. So they got some weapons out there. So then I'm thinking, is this the toughest? Zebot said it the other day. Is this the toughest wild card game since we played Deshaun Watson? Then I'm like, well, hold on. It was a pretty tough game when we played when we played Phillip Rivers and the Colts. So is this upcoming game going to be the toughest one that we face? Because I'm looking at the last few games, right? Obviously losing to the Texans, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen's kind of first time getting into the playoffs and getting his feet wet. Give him that. Then you had Indy going up against a 39-year-old Phillip Rivers. Still a tough game. Then you face New England. We waxed New England in that game, so that doesn't count, but that was the perfect game. I have to mention that. Then you have Miami against Skylar Thompson. And then you have TJ Wattless Steelers. And then you had Mason Rudolph. And Bo Nix, although a rookie, he can play. Got to give it to him. He's in the running for Rookie of the Year. Obviously, I think it's going to go to Jane Daniels, but he's up there. So the boy can play. He can deliver. Denver is no joke. They can play. I'm not going to give them all the credit and say, yo, man, watch out for them, because they did. I mean, they finished 10-7. So they had some moments where, you know what I mean, it did quite work out. So there are some weaknesses on this team, but they've looked good the last few weeks. You got to give them that. So then I'm like, all right, so how are we going to deal, and where are our advantages facing this Broncos team? Then I'm like, okay, you know who it starts with? It starts with McDermott. It starts with McDermott, and it starts with Bobby Babbage. That's where it's going to begin with. All right? Because although Bo Nix being a rookie, he's got a very good offensive coordinator and head coach, obviously, Sean Payton, a savvy coach, knows what he's doing. And obviously, the proof is in the pudding with what the display of football that Bo Nix has been able to do this year. So as I keep looking at what these boys have been able to do, I'm like going back to Sean McDermott. I was like, well, how does Sean McDermott do normally when he's facing these rookies? What's his record when he faces rookies? Sean McDermott is 9-4 in the regular season facing rookie quarterbacks. So the slight advantage that we have in the situation is he can throw in some wrinkles. He can throw in some schemes. He's got a full complement on his roster defensively, so he doesn't have to hold back of not blitzing. Or I guess I could say Babbage doesn't have to hold back on blitzing and letting it rip after Bo Nix. So then I'm like, well, how's he done against rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs? Because, playoffs is a different ballgame. McDermott's 2-0. So I'm very confident that there's going to be a game plan put together. Him and Bobby Babbage going to sit down, and they'll put something together for Bo Nix. Who was I listening to today? I think it was Dan Orlovsky was with Steve Tasker. And they were talking about he's not a regular rookie quarterback. You got a really good coach. Secondly, you got a guy that's played a lot of football collegiately. He's got a lot of experience. He's not like a guy like, I don't know, who didn't play a lot of Drake May. Drake May didn't play, not Drake May, excuse me. Who didn't have a lot of collegiate time under his belt, came into the league, and you're like, I could tell, right? Name a quarterback. It's not coming to me right now. I want to say Drake May, but I don't think it's Drake May. You can tell this guy he's got the time under his belt. So he's not looking like your typical rookie. So this is where I want McDermott to come in and handle business. Anthony Richardson, great opportunity. Use Anthony Richardson as an example. Not a whole lot of time under center. And here he is. You see it. My man's got benched to put old man Flacco in. You know what I mean? So like it's like Bo Nix is not one of them cats. This boy's got experience under his belt, and now he's got the head coach that jive with him. So McDermott and my man Babbage are gonna have to come in and shake things up. You know what I mean? Make him look like a rookie. That's what we need. We made Aaron Rodgers look like the 40-year-old man. We got to make my man Bo Nix look like a rookie and put him in his place. It's okay. Put him in his place real quick, and then we keep it moving. So that was another factor I was looking at in terms of, okay, so how do we take care of business against these Broncos and not be the team that gets upset, right? Because right now people are talking about, hey, this matchup, this could be an upset in the making. I didn't like hearing that. I didn't like hearing that. I wasn't interested in that. But it could be the reality if we don't get our act together. So let me keep going. So I'm like, okay, Broncos 63 sacks. I get it. So they obviously get to the quarterback. It really does help get you to the quarterback when you got a Pat Surtain back there handling business. It really does help get to the quarterback when, you know what I mean, Riley, you know what I mean? I got to give a little credit to him. That corner that's out there doing what he does, Riley Moss, he's doing his thing. He's got a pick this year, sitting at 65, 86 total tackles. And then Brandon Jones at safety. So they got some boys back there. But then I started thinking, have they faced anybody like Josh Allen? No, they haven't faced anything like Josh Allen. And right now, Josh Allen is all the way locked in. Because then I have to remind myself, hold on. I got number 17 back there. And when there's nothing, he makes something. Always. So I have to, we as fans, I'll speak for myself, as fans, got to check ourselves when hyping a team too much or showing a little too much nerve or nervousness going into a game like this. So I have the confidence in McDermott. I have the confidence in Babbage. And ain't nobody trying to get bounced out of the first round. Can't do it. We can't. And we're at home in front of Bills Mafia. We cannot. We absolutely cannot. So let me keep it pushing. So I'm looking at where our other advantages are. Folks, I love that the Broncos have 63 sacks. They're ninth, right? They got 3 pick sixes. They led the league in 3 pick sixes. One of them went to Pat Surtain. So they're opportunistic. Josh hasn't turned the ball over. I think we have 8 turnovers this year? Hell of a year for this offense. The Bills had 16 interceptions this year. We also had 16 fumble recoveries. 32 takeaways this year. had us as the third best takeaway team this year, and we were just shy of being in the number one by 1 or 2 takeaways. So where we will become opportunistic is jumping on this rookie, which brings me back to Sean McDermott. Going up against rookies, he's 9-4. And in those games, he's forced these rookies to throw 17 picks. We might get one from Bo Nix or 2. Bo has thrown 12 this year. We might take one from Bo Nix. So how is it that we're going to get it? We're going to need the pressure from our boys. This is where Greg Rousseau comes in. This is where AJ Epinesa, Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones. You know the drill. So my question to you guys, are we confident in our pass rush? That's what it comes down to. Because in these playoffs, last few games, we've lacked at getting after the quarterback. We have. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. We have lacked getting after the quarterback. So this is where we're going to need that supercharged Von Miller. Talk about I'm Nino Brown. Let me G Money. I'm sorry, bro. Well, you better pull that trigger and you better not miss. But who I'm most excited about when it comes to this is Greg Rousseau. Hasn't Greg Rousseau had a phenomenal year this year? He may not have the 18 sacks or 16 sacks, but he pops on film. He can play inside. He can play outside. He defends the run very well, and he leads our team in sacks. He's had a great freaking year. I need him to lead that way. And then Von Miller can just clean up. We know what Von Miller's about. We know what he's about. Third down, get after it. You're not going to see too much of Von Miller on first down here and there. We'll rotate him in. But we know why he's there. But the guys that I'm going to be paying attention to, Greg Rousseau, Ed Oliver. We need the trenches. We need that. Now, I'm looking at the takeaways that we've done. I'm looking at what Josh Allen's been able to do. I mean, so we're looking solid. Now, I'm looking at Bo Nix. Bo Nix is certainly not Joe Flacco. Bo Nix is certainly not Tom Brady. He's not your standstill type quarterback. I was surprised. I was looking at Bo Nix's numbers. This brother had 430 yards rushing this year. 430 yards rushing. Huh? He ain't Lamar Jackson, but he ain't Joe Flacco. So now we can't treat him as, don't worry about it, he ain't going to take off. No, he will absolutely take off, and he will hurt you. So we have to play with such a level of discipline in this game that we don't allow, these little incidents to happen where he scampers off for 60, because he will do it. He is athletic as shit. I didn't realize it. I was watching this brother can fly. Discipline is a big thing that we're going to do. I'm going to talk more about that on Friday's show with my man Ziba, but that is going to be a huge part of how we take care of these Broncos. It's a lot of discipline. Shamar says, I know we're not scared. No, we ain't scared, bro, but we got to show respect to that squad. We can't come in as the big bad 7 seed and think we got this. The big bad 2 seed over the 7th seed and think that we got this, no problem. We'll take care of business. Now we gotta show him some respect a little bit. 430 yards ain't no. He ain't that dude. He ain't slow. My man said running back says, Bo Nix will define takeoff. I do hope we can establish a run game, or it's going to be a really long night for the Broncos. We'll get into how we can make it a long night for the Broncos. We'll definitely get into that. But I'm just trying to look at this objectively and see how can all shake out, right? And how these Broncos can try to mess up our right to the next round, our road to the next round, our road to the next game, and then so on and so forth. Lastly, that I want to get into, special teams. That's a big one. Why? They have a returner. They have one. I mean, our guy Codrington, I know he pulled up on a hammy. So I don't know, a lower leg injury. I think it was a hammy that he pulled or a quad. I'm not too sure. So he's in jeopardy. I hope he's okay and ready to go. I'm not trying to have anybody other than Codrington back there. Neither here nor there. We do have Ty Johnson, so I'm not worried too much. But Marvin Mims, not only will they'll use him in the offense in space. What we hoped that we would have used Curtis Samuel in, they actually do use Marvin Mims in space. But I'm talking about special teams. We've had our blunders. Ironically, the blunder against you-know-who, the Broncos, when we put too many freaking idiots on the field. Shame on us. Lost us the game. Put a lot of pressure on the Bills to make the playoffs that year. We had to rip off 6 straight. You remember that. Ken Dorsey, you got to go. Here comes our guy, Joe Brady, to save. And he's done fantastic. But special teams, we're going to have to lock stuff down in special teams. We cannot allow any stupid plays that alter this game. It's one and done. There's no next week we'll get it. Nah, man. We got to make sure that we lock stuff down ASAP and right away. 100%. So those were what I noticed about these Broncos. I'm going to do a lot. Obviously, I'm going to watch a little bit more on these Broncos because I'm too invested in my team to start looking at all these other teams. So now that we are, I'll be watching. I'll be seeing what they've got. I'll be seeing what they bring to the table. So what worries you the most in this game? And I ask you guys in the chat. And what has you very confident that, nah, bro, we got this. I ain't worried about no damn Broncos. You kidding me? You see what they played? What exactly are you got me worried about, Rico? What are we talking about here? So then I'm like, okay, because I've seen someone make that comment. So then I started going through who they played, what happened, and going so on and so forth. So they lost to the Seahawks. Then they lost to Pittsburgh 13-6, low-scoring game. Then they beat Tampa 26-7. I was like, okay. Then they beat remember that Jets game 10-9? They beat the Jets. And they beat Las Vegas. They lost to the Chargers. And then they whooped on New Orleans. They whooped on the Panthers. They got smashed by Baltimore 41-10. So kind of keep that in your box there. Remember that infamous game against KC, 16-14, blocked field goal? You know what it is. And then they ripped off 4 straight. 38-6 Atlanta, 29-19 Las Vegas, 41-32 Cleveland, 31-13 Indy. Atlanta, not a playoff team. Vegas, not a playoff team. Cleveland, not a playoff team. Indy, not a playoff team. Keep that in mind as well. Then they lost to the Chargers, 34-27, close one. Cincy, remember that game, 30-24. And then obviously last 38-0 to KC. So you look back at the teams they've played and how they've done it and so on and so forth. It's definitely not eye-popping. But what is eye-popping to me is when you look at what they have in the run game. Javonte Williams is their lead back, only 500 yards rushing. I don't want to just watch the box, but 3.7 yards a pop. I mean, obviously he had that gruesome injury that's kind of slowed him down a little bit. So maybe is he back to his old self? I don't know. 3.7 yards a pop, but they do have Jaleel McCollum. He had 496, so they both had near 500 yards a pop. He's more of the explosive back at 4.4 yards. So I'm trying to see if we can make this team just a one-dimensional squad. I mean, let's not forget, Bo Nix put in another 430 yards. So you don't know where these rushing yards are going to come from. They're going to mix and match their backs. Bo Nix is going to be in there too. But if we can make this team one-dimensional, because we know how we deal with physical backs. We don't do quite well with physical backs. We've seen it. We get gashed. And it's like we let these boys come in and just run amok on us. Breece Hall hasn't run a damn 100-yard game all season. All of a sudden he comes in and looks like an all-star against the Bills. You remember that? Obviously, Derrick Henry gave us fits. Big-time problems. So you guys get it. Kieran Williams killed us. He's a small back. He's a smaller back. So we have these moments where we just give up we make running backs look better than they should be. Shut it down, make them one-dimensional, put some points up on these boys, and have our guys pin our ears back instead of the other way around. It's gonna be fun to see. I got a super chat coming in from GQ Bob. Let me get to my man GQ Bob. What up, GQ? GQ goes, this is where every man eats comes in. Okay. Surtain locks up Coop. Fine. We have other players that can work the field. We don't have a true number one receiver. This will work to our advantage. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I don't like to disrespect Coop by calling me a decoy, but he just might have to be. He just might have to be. Or Josh is so damn fearless that he doesn't care. He just goes by what's open and what's not and handle your business. But GQ Bob, you're right, man. This is where that everybody eats comes in. I don't have to sit here and force feed anymore. I mean, that was the big thing. We don't have to force feed. But I also would like to see a lot more chemistry from those two. We'll see how that all works out. We shall see. Miss Laura, what's up, Miss Laura? Miss Laura says Bo Nix is all right. I can't lie. But he ain't no Josh Allen, though. And he definitely ain't met a team like us before. That's the big one that makes me confident. This team is destined for big things. I mean, let me think about it. The 4 losses, that came our way. I mean, I don't even really count the last one. I mean, if you want to, go ahead and you guys can count it, but I don't really count the last one. But the Bills had a phenomenal year. Shocked a lot of people. Man. So that 13-4 record, I'll take it. Obviously, losing to Baltimore killed us. That Houston Texans game, you can go back and be like, how? How the heck did we lose to Houston? And then the LA Rams game was just a shootout. Back and forth. It was who has the ball last and who doesn't make a mistake. Other than that, man, what a heck of a year for these Bills. So how can we end our season to the Broncos? We can't. I think we're destined for too much. We got to do it. Kenneth McTucker comes in. Is Oliver going to show up? Boy, do we need the trenches to show up, especially Ed Oliver. I mean, shoot, if this is the game, if there's any game for Ed Oliver to show up, this is it. You know what I mean? You got the Broncos, man. Giddy up. This is the game. But we're going to have our own hands full. We'll have our own hands full because Courtland Sutton, like my man Mr. Turkey said, Courtland Sutton is no joke. Courtland Sutton is consistent. That's what I like about Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton is a consistent back. He's a consistent receiver. So we're going to have our battles. We're absolutely going to have our battles. And we're going to see how that all shakes out. Lots to cover. There's going to be so much more coming out this week on both squads. I know there's going to be film put out there. I'm going to be watching a lot more of these Broncos games to see am I tripping? Because this is someone that hasn't watched a lot of Broncos ball. I don't know if you guys have watched a lot of Broncos ball. I've not watched a lot of Broncos ball, a game here and there. But I don't know the ins and outs of the squad. So a lot more to be watched, a lot more to be analyzed, and then we can have a better output on Friday's show. That's one way I wanted to look at it. So now, let's get to Josh Allen. What I love for Josh in this game. This is another opportunity for him to lead his guys. There is no, I need the ball because it's playoff time. I need this. There is none of that. Everyone understands their role. Josh understands his leadership role. And this is the type of game that you want him to come out and absolutely assert his dominance. Make him look like the MVP candidate that he is, the MVP winner that he is. And there should be no contrast between him and Bo Nix. That's what I want to see from our guy Josh. I want to see him connect with Dalton Kincaid. I want to see him connect with Khalil Shakir. Get Curtis Samuel the ball. I want to see all those things happen. But how these things happen is if one guy doesn't get too cute. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Don't get cute, Brady. Mr. Joseph Brady. You hear it. All these teams want to have a chat with Mr. Brady. Oh, we want Mr. Brady to come in as our head coach. We want Mr. Brady. Hey, Mr. Brady, I love that you're getting the attention. But, brother, please, I need you to lock in. I don't need no distractions that you looking here, you looking there, bro. You got a job to do. Please lock in with your quarterback. Put up the best game plan together, and let's just make a run. What will be yours will be yours. If it's for you, it'll be there waiting for you. But we got to lock the F in. Got to. But I have a ton of respect for Joe Brady. Joe Brady has been so instrumental to this team. Think about it, man. Ken Dorsey fired. Then gets fired again by the Browns. Just not a good situation over there. Joe Brady comes in and has only had great success. Has had great success. And let me ask you a question real quick. If you're Joe Brady, real talk, because I'm thinking to myself, like, it makes me think of Tyreek Hill, to be honest with you. Tyreek had something real good. He had something real good, right? He had the best quarterback in the game, according to some. Some might say he is. Pat Mahomes is that dude. You got one of the best head coaches in the game. They were going to pay you a little less than what you were going to, what you wanted, but you felt you needed more. You left. You went to Miami. Terrible decision. Not going to tell you that. Tua was just as good. I bring Tyreek up because the grass is never greener on the other side. Yo, Rico, now Tyreek has $150 million. He does. And he's unhappy and wants out. And now they're going to treat him like a B. Oh, but you under contract, bro. So now it's just going to get nasty. Anyway, that's neither here nor there because that ain't my squad. The Miami Dolphins are a mess right now. Anyway, let's keep it rolling. So Joe Brady, if you're Joe Brady and you're getting all these opportunities, win or lose a Super Bowl with the Bills, dare you, and I get it, you need to get an opportunity to become a head coach because that's why you do it. But how do you leave Josh Allen? Especially Josh Allen in his prime. Do you do it just because? I mean, shoot, Dable was like, I got to go. But I'm sure there was some kind of friction between Dable and coach, so that's a whole nother ballgame. But if you're Joe Brady, the Browns say, yo, we want to give you this. We want to give you the job. I want you to make this offense legit. I want you to get Caleb Williams looking like that dude. But you got to leave Josh Allen. If you're McDermott and Bean, do you say, yo, we'll pay you a little more to stay? Or do you say, yo, you got to do what you got to do? Because that would change a whole lot. Why? Because Josh Allen has known pretty much one system with a bit of tweaking here and there. Think about it. Brian Dable leaves, but the quarterback coach was Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey takes over. I'm going to give Josh the plays that he likes, that he remembers. I'm not going to tweak too much. I want to make Josh happy. Ken Dorsey gone, Joe Brady in. Joe Brady keeps relatively things the same, tweaks it, brings his own little playbook in, but we're going to keep some of the plays, but we'll just tweak a little bit, Josh. Joe Brady leaves. What do? Do you bring in Ronald Curry? That'll be interesting. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Will they? Or will they look elsewhere? It's just Joe Brady's got to decide what he wants to do because the grass is never greener. Go ask Tyreek. Tyreek is like, I'm out. Like a little bee. I'm out. I'd love for Joe Brady to stay, but I also understand the business. But what we have to understand is we already have a guy that's so intelligent, super smart. It won't matter who comes in. He'll adapt and he'll do what he's got to do. And plus, when you have a guy like Josh will tell you what he likes and what he doesn't like. Let's roll. But we've been fortunate to have Josh in pretty much the same system these last 7 years. We got to get it done this year, man. We got to get it done. We have to get it done. Can't see it any other way. Can't see it any other way. So, looking at what's coming our way, and I don't want to get too much into it because I'm not even going to touch last game. Last game was last game. It didn't really matter. It's about what takes place this week. Is our game Sunday? That's the one thing I did not. I need to confirm that because I totally forgot what time we play. Is it our Saturday or Sunday? What we got? We are Sunday at 1. Okay. CBS Paramount. All right. At least we got an early game. Handle business. Sunday at 1. Cassandra, I got you, girl. I got you. So now that we are where we are. We're the number 2 seed, 13 wins, defy the odds, potentially MVP quarterback, potentially left tackle that could be an all-pro. People are getting a lot healthier. Isn't the sky the limit for these Bills? Like, honestly. Take care of the Broncos.
Buffalo Fanatics, what's going on? This is Pierre the Kingpin, and I wanted to talk to you today about Cigars International, which is the ultimate destination for premium homemade cigars. Known as the industry leader, Cigars International offers the largest selection, unbeatable prices, and a customer service experience that's second to none. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned vet, Cigars International makes enjoying cigars easy, approachable, and fun. Cigars International is the go-to retailer for all things cigars, with the biggest selection of premium homemade cigars available anywhere. Cigars International offers unbeatable deals and discounts, making it easy to stock up on your favorite or try something new without breaking the bank. With fast free shipping and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence knowing that Cigars International stands behind every order. They have good relationship with vendors that helps provide great low prices. Whether you're new to cigars or a seasoned pro, Cigars International makes it easy to find the right cigar with helpful guides, staff reviews, and expert advice. It's not just about cigars. Cigars International also offers a wide range of accessories and more to elevate your smoking experience. Check out the great deals every day at cigarsinternational.com. That's cigars, CIGARS, international.com. Use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply. Again, use code FANATICS at checkout for 20% off your order of $50 or more, plus free shipping. Or visit www.cigarsinternational.com/fanatics, and the discount will automatically apply.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Whoever fixes, we're probably fixing to play the Ravens and then handle business. Wouldn't that be a matchup? I was actually looking at some things and it plays a factor, not huge. Oh, by the way, Aaron Cromer, imagine our run game would be sick. I'm looking at, okay, so it just makes sense for this to work out. It just makes sense. I just like it. Now, let me just get some questions in. God forbid I don't get to your questions. Uh-oh. You guys might hold a grudge against me. I don't know. I tease. I'm kidding. Here we go. Are Milano and Epinesa going to try to get our TVs a lot? Get the job done. Listen, man. I need every last one of these guys to show up. Like the time that we officially get to have Milano, a healthy Milano, it seems as though, and a Terrell Bernard that was nursing a light injury, but I can't see him missing any games. That'll be nice. Taron Johnson, healthy, ready to go. That'll be nice. Cole Bishop getting in some time with DeMar Hamlin. It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Do they prefer one or the other? Could we be surprised by an activation of listen, don't quote me on this. I'm just putting it out there because it'd be cool to see Micah Hyde. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Regular season will save you, but we want you active for the playoffs. Could that be? Would McDermott do such a thing? I doubt it. But that would be cool. But I doubt it. But it would be nice to have this defense officially healthy. Dwayne Smoot back. Dwayne Carter back. It's nice. Now we're going to have a nice, healthy rotation. Daquan Jones, ready to go. A little older, but ready to go. Not dealing with any ailments. Von Miller seems to be charged up, ready to go. Greg Rousseau. AJ Epinesa. It'll be nice to have strong rotational line ready to get after Bo Nix and these boys. Now, what I'm most excited about is seeing Milano and Bernard, but you'll see a mixture of Dorian Williams in there. And I've seen some packages. And this is what's nice about these packages that you can put in together. Now that everybody's healthy, there's nobody, I got to limit that guy because this, bro, the sky's the limit on how exotic we can get. Nickel packages, some dime packages, some speed packages. It'll be nice to see what McDermott ruffles, how much feathers he ruffles with Bo Nix. He is a rookie. So we want to get Bo Nix off his game. And once we get him down, he's got to throw the football up. And this is where one of the best teams taking the football away will come in there and handle business. But we got to strike early. We know this. We have to strike early. None of this 3-and-out business. We've got to be better. And I think this is where the Bills will assert their dominance and really, and I am hoping that they make the Broncos, although they give a valiant effort, they'll make the Broncos look like the 7th seed. That's what I'm hoping for. So let me get some more questions in here. J Dub says, Brady isn't going to go to the Jets or the Panthers. Bad owners. He won't go to Cincy either. I think he'll wait for a good situation with solid owners and a path to a good QB and roster. I mean, if you're going to do something, this would be the year. Do you see how many coaching vacancies there are? There's some good coaching vacancies. I'm surprised the Colts didn't get rid of their guy. But there's some good vacancies out there. So maybe. But if you're going to leave Josh Allen and this nucleus, this family is like what they like to call it, it better be for a fantastic situation. Better be. Bob O'Brien, double-digit wins in the 7 or 8 seasons. McDermott not going anywhere. We'll see. You guys already know how I feel about that, but I'm not going to go there. I just want to see success for my squad. I don't think Brady's running the same system. Josh Allen is the system. I mean, shoot, when you're Josh Allen, man, you run what Josh Allen wants to run. Straight up. Let me get some more questions in here. Dude, this isn't the same offense as Dable's, not even close. I'm not saying it's the same. Not at all said it was the same. I said same concepts. Dable leaves, you don't start all brand new and go completely a new system. You're going to keep a lot of what Dable brought in. Ken Dorsey's going to sprinkle in a little bit his offense and go from there. Don't forget, I think at one point there was talk of we're going to go 12 personnel. We're going to do this. There was not a whole lot of that because we had to kind of tweak and get things going. And Dorsey was gone. And then here comes new offensive coordinator and Joe Brady. So has Joe Brady tweaked a little bit? I'm sure he's brought in his own system, but I'm sure they kept a lot of the verbiage and the nuances that Josh had previously with Dable, with Dorsey, and now with Brady. But I'm sure Brady has a a little, I guess, a different system for sure, but same verbiage. And Josh has been privy to stay within the same. There's always been a nice transition. One coach leaves, one takes over because he was a quarterback coach. There hasn't been a brand new coach that came out of nowhere and says, "Here's my new system." That's exactly what I'm trying to say. So if you thought I was saying he stayed the same system, they just it never really happens that way. But there's tweaking that goes along with it. I hope I answered that. Look, let me see. Jump in a couple comments here real quick. My man said Joe Brady should be head coach for the Bills. I don't know if McDermott's ready to give that up, brother. I don't know if he's ready to give that up. Unless Pagula says, "Yo, you out of here." Can't see that happening. I think Pagula likes his head coach, so I think he might be around for a little bit. All right, let me keep it rolling here. The saying is the grass always greener on the other side. The thing is that it is not always after you get there. I mean, there's always, if you don't water your grass either, it ain't going to be green. So he may have got over there and the grass was all right, but did you water the grass? Did you take care of the grass? Or did you just expect the grass to be taken care of on its own? So it kind of, you got to take care of the grass. So, I mean, I don't think it's as bad as Tyreek is making it seem, to be honest. They got some good players out there. It's not like they don't have any players out there. They got some good players offensively. You got yourself Waddle. You have Tyreek. You got those two young backs back there. Like, Tua's gets the job done if he's healthy. I don't know about the head coach, though. McDaniel's a little, he's a little sus to me, but I mean, they got some good pieces out there. It just wasn't your year. It wasn't your year, fellas. That's what it comes down to. You guys are talking about the MVP, man. We can't talk about the MVP. You guys already know what time it is with the MVP, man. I think it's all said and done with the MVP. I think. Walter, my man Walter, what's up? He goes, definitely wasn't the same system after Dable left. So concepts were kept, but to call the Dorsey offense the same system is offensive. I'm not even the biggest Dable guy. So when Dable left, Ken Dorsey came in. If I remember correctly, reading some of the articles, I think they kept a lot of the verbiage and systems that Josh was accustomed to, especially being the quarterback coach for a couple of years. Dorsey was there, give or take, if I remember correctly. So they kind of had a transition of, I won't say keeping the whole system, but keeping a lot of the stuff that Josh was already used to and then tweaking it with whatever Dorsey had. Just like any other system, any new offensive coordinator comes in, especially if they were with the squad for a year or two, they're going to see what Josh liked, bring in their own system, trying a tiny bit, but keep a little bit of the old system a little bit. So if I may have misspoke saying it's the same system, not quite the same system, but verbiage, things that Josh liked, I think they incorporated that. I think any offensive coordinator would do that for a big time quarterback. That's my thoughts on that. But maybe I misspoke by saying same system. I don't want to say same system. Let me get to Miss Abby. Miss Abby says McDermott might truly be gone without a Super Bowl appearance, and especially if another loss to the Chiefs. Ooh, Abby. I wasn't trying to go there, Abby. But that is certainly a conversation that if it does come to that time of year or an early exit, an untimely exit, I'm sure there's going to be conversations had. How could you not? Especially if it's the way we lost, or if it's the way we lose, right? Losing to KC for fourth straight time, that would be tough. And that would be tough to justify bringing the coach back. And I know most folks, and they've got on my ass for saying, well, what do you mean? He's had this team win 5 straight divisions. He's had this team, in contention every single year. He's had this team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, he has. But how do you justify losing to the same team again in the playoffs when it counts for a fourth straight time? And it may not even be the case. It might be somebody else. But the fact of the matter is this: you have one of the best quarterbacks in the game. You had a very good regular season. The unit that lets us down the most has always been the defense, which is your department. And if we can't get it done defensively, conversations have to be had. And I hate it because you guys know I'm a fan of McDermott, but I also understand that, Brad, how do you as Brandon Bean go back and say, yo, we got to bring Sean McDermott back? Well, hold on. He lost four times to Andy Reid. Like, we got Josh Allen that's trying to win a Super Bowl and we just can't get it done. What's going on? It's tough. It's tough, man. I just hope we just win the whole thing so we don't have to worry about that. Because I actually really do like McDermott as a coach for this team. We'll see. 10K Drippy, what up, Drip? Says, yo, I want to see a lot more of Javon Sullivan. Listen, me too. Give him time. He's buried on the depth, right, to get that rotation in. But I'll tell you, man, a couple more years, another year or two, he'll be a force to reckon. He'll be a force to reckon, man. He's a big time player. I mean, you saw him get around that bend last game and had quarterback dead to right. Joe Milton was about to get sacked, but when you got an athletic quarterback like Joe Milton, hard to bring him down. But boy, he had him dead to rights, sack right there, missed him. But yeah, Solomon will be a big time player for us. I'm actually excited for him, very much excited for him. Let me get a few more questions before I get out of here, folks. My man said, yo, how did you get the second seed and still get screwed? Broncos, Ravens, and Chiefs is a wild road to the Super Bowl. I mean, sometimes you got to take the hard road, man. Sometimes the hardest road is the way to where you need to get to. I mean, it would have been nice if we were able to, secure the 1 seed and try to, if KC kind of lost somewhere along the way, and if we didn't have to obviously lose to the Rams, I'm sure we would have had a closer way to get into the number 1. But we wanted to have a bye and have an easy way. But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I mean, at one point, we could have been facing the Bengals if things shook out the way they were supposed to. But Broncos, so be it. Handle business. Then we got to take on the Ravens. It's not like we haven't beaten the Ravens before. We have. And then we take on the Chiefs. And if something happens to the Chiefs and, something goes down, we'll see, man. But sometimes it can't be easy. Sometimes you got to take the rough way all the way to the Super Bowl. And if it's our year, then shoot. Bring it on. Bring it on. I heard that Condrington was injured. Anyone know the extent? Yes. I think it was a hammy in the last game. He's got tightness in the hammy. So our guy, Thigh Doc, says he'll be out. He's not going to play this game with what they say is a hammy injury. That sucks. That really does suck. So if we don't get Condrington, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Rico, who pays price if we lose Sunday? It won't be McDermott. Who pays the price if we lose? I mean, shoot, it depends on how the game goes down. I mean, I'm exaggerating here big time, but if the Broncos come out and are on absolute fire and are just locking the offense down and the offense can't move, and James Cooks fumbles twice and there's a drop, a tip ball in the air, intercepted, pick 6, and sometimes it's the way the cookie crumbles. But if the defense just is allowing a whole Rams performance again, and we lose because of that, because the defense just can't get a stop, who takes care of the defense? But shoot, I don't even want to talk about that like that. I really don't. Let me go a little bit. J. Cole says, a little nervous. The defense does scare me. Our defense scares us. Shoot, I don't blame you. We've had some performances that could be better, but I don't blame you for you to have a little trepidation going into this game because you're unsure of what this defense is going to be able to provide and what they're going to give us. You're unsure. So I totally 100% get that part. But listen, I think the defense knows what's at stake. I think they understand that we've got one of the best offenses in the game. And if Coach Babbage ain't talking in the defensive players' ears and saying, fellas, we cannot let the offense down. They've been putting the points up. We got to do our job by giving them the opportunity. So what do we do best, fellas? We take the ball away. So let's create opportunities to take the ball away, get the ball back in Josh's hands. All we have to do is get a dub. Get the dub. I don't care how ugly or pretty he is. Just get the win, and let's move on to the next round. But listen, man, am I nervous? Yes. Does the defense scare me a little bit? I ain't gonna lie. A little bit. There's a lack of consistency with our defense. So yes, I totally understand that part. Let me get a couple more in, and then I'm a dip out of here, folks. Let me see. My man said he's gonna wait it out. You think Joe's gonna wait it out? Joe Brady's just gonna wait it out. He's gonna just wait in the background until McDermott got to go, and then somebody need a coach. Hey, you never know, man. You never know. I kind of like the tandem together. It seems as though McDermott has found a coach, an offensive coordinator that understands his vision. And the vision is to have a well-balanced offense, not depend too much on Josh to air it out 40 times, 45 times. You want a nice, balanced offense that the running game is flowing, pass game is flowing, and now the defense is off kilter. They don't know where to come or where to go, right? Nothing worse than when you've made an offense one-dimensional. Man, pin your ears back. Get him. Or let's play some prevent defense. We don't got to do much. Let's just sit and wait. He's got to force the football to us. I kind of want that to be the reverse. I want Bo Nix to be forced to get the ball downfield, and this is where our guys come in, take full advantage, make these guys look like the young team that they are, and let's take over. That's what you hope. That's what you hope for. Taking the Saints job? Heck no, I don't think he'll ever go back to. I don't think he'll go and take the Saints job. You never know, man. If he's about it and he really wants a job, then yeah, I guess you can. Are Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward destined to be busts? I don't know, man. They're trying to hate on Shedeur Sanders right now by saying he doesn't have a first-round grade on him. But, I mean, there was a moment where he was a candidate for the Heisman. But he's got I mean, I think it's more draft talk, trying to drop his stock so a team can jump in and get him. But I think they'll both be good quarterbacks, man. I honestly think they'll be both good quarterbacks. And there's quarterback-needy teams. So these boys will find a destination that works out. You just hope that they don't give up on these guys too soon, because prime example, they almost gave up on Bryce Young. Almost gave up on Bryce Young. When they benched Bryce Young, there were a lot of teams calling, "Hey, is he up for trade? Are y'all?" And they're like, "Nah, man, we're not going to do that." And they held on to him. That little time on the bench had him learning, and that kid is doing real good. He's playing good ball right now. So it'll be interesting and exciting to see what Young does next year. But yeah, Cam Ward and Shedeur, I think they'll be all right, man. You just gotta have the right coach that trusts and that they'll trust, and that they'll let these guys develop, because nobody wants to let anybody develop these days. Nobody does. Let me see a couple more questions here. What's my man saying? I didn't even read the question before, but let's go. Brady, not stupid. Why would he leave Allen when we know he may have a chance at becoming Allen's head coach? And if he doesn't work, then off to a new team he's gonna go. I mean, we'll see. Yo, you guys want our guy McDermott gone? Come on now, give that brother a chance, man. Give that brother a chance, man. Laura comes in and says, "I need Bass to hit everything. I need Ed Oliver and DaQuan Jones to ball out. I want Benford to get 2 picks. What else do I want? Shoot, keep naming them, girl. I like where you're going with it. Keep naming them. I want all those things to go down." Frozen Goat comes in and says, "The more experience Josh gets, the more he'll be able to navigate the revolving doors of OCs." Something that I'm so glad you made that point, because that was something I said 2 years ago when Diggs was still there, and eventually I knew, like, okay, at one point Diggs is going to want to leave at one point. And this is before the friction. I just knew contracts come up. Are you ready to pay these guys, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? And I don't know if you guys remember this, but I kept on saying to the nature of, like, he could become like a Tom Brady in the sense of not needing a mega superstar. And it sounds funny that I say that, because I'm like, I look at the team, I'm like, okay, Gronkowski was superstar. That boy was a dog. He had Randy Moss for like a year or two, right? But that was on the tail end of Randy Moss's career. But for the most part, he didn't really have any like mega superstars on the offensive side of the ball other than Gronkowski. And I don't want to diminish what he did with Gronkowski, because it's nasty work. But I think Josh can have that type of impact for his team no matter who the offensive coordinator is, because he's that good and he's that intelligent. And you'll do what you need to do as an offensive coordinator to shape a system around what Josh does best. So you just need the right coordinator that understands how Josh works. You can't have an offensive coordinator come in and says, "It's my way or the highway." I would really hope that they don't do that to Josh Allen. You got to get a guy that comes in that understands what Josh wants, what he's best at, and works around Josh's skill set and the rest of the team, not my way or the highway. Can't have those coaches because things just go bad. They go bad. You can't have that. Solid question, by the way. Solid question. Let's see. I got a super chat coming in from Say Jello. See Jello. So, Rico, what if we promote Joe Brady to our own head coach if McDermott flops this year? I mean, McDermott hasn't flopped this year at all. I mean, we 13-4. I mean, he's done pretty damn good, man. He's made some crucial. He's made some decisions that were somewhat costly this year, but he's also made some aggressive decisions in fourth down and so on and so forth. Putting the ball in Josh's hands, say, "Yo, go win us the game in Kansas City." I mean, go do what you got to do. So, man, I just hope he does it, and I hope that we win the whole thing, and we don't got to even talk about it. That's wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Let me see what we got here. Just a few more questions, and we're gonna roll out. Because I scrolled all the way back up, by the way, so I might be late on some of your stuff. Serafina says, not to be woo-woo, but the Chiefs not to be woo-woo, but the Chiefs always win because people expect them to. Their fan base always expects them to win. I say this to say our good energy out there and expect the Bills to win. No, we got to put out good energy. You're right. That's why I'm trying to avoid McDermott going here. Yeah, man, we need to win this thing. And first starts with the Broncos. Got to take care of business with the Broncos. Super chat coming in from Ill Will. What up, Ill? Says, yo, did Madden simulation. I did a Madden simulation with current rosters, and I had the Bills 44-7. Bro, if we can come out with a beautiful score, like I want to be able to watch this game. First quarter, have my heart bumping like crazy. And then once we settle and then we put a couple touchdowns on the board, I want to be able to just lean back and relax. Aren't those the fun games where you're not all the way lean back, but you're lean back enough where it's fun to watch our team, but I'm not on the edge of my seat saying, oh, God, I hate those games. It takes all the energy out of me, bro. I'm not going to lie. But it would be nice if this score plays out. It will. Appreciate that super chat, man. My G. What do we got here? Mr. Schnickles. Schnickelfritz says, we can't talk about letting McDermott go without a better option. Who do we bring in that we think gets the team over the hump if this isn't the year? I mean, shoot. That's a great question, man. I mean, I think a lot of folks anticipate that if you look at the teams that really need head coaches because their franchise is in disarray, then you understand it. But this franchise is so well run that, like, I can't see Pagula making a move to move on from, even though it might be warranted if we end with the same results. But you guys know Pagula better than I do. I mean, you guys watch hockey. You see what he's done with the Sabres. I mean, is he handling well? I don't know. I don't watch hockey. You guys let me know. That's the way I look at it. You let me know. Cassandra Turner says, it's time to shut the media up, man. That's why we are all going on this road. So let's put the chain on the wheels and plow away through the Super Bowl. Marty, like, Super Bowl to the Mardi Gras. Yo, listen. If I can get tickets to, if we make it all the way over there and we can get there, shoot, we're going to have some fun, girls. Let's talk who's playing after that. Who's playing after that game? Who we playing after that game? Listen, whether it be the Ravens, who cares? Just get past the Broncos. Once we get past the Broncos, I'm confident in this team that we'll be able to do big things. Obviously, if we get out unscathed and no injuries. No injuries is the way to go. My man, Jonathan Clark says, yo, run it back. Bo Nix is going to bring a Super Bowl to Denver one day. I've seen enough of his rookie year with season with Peyton. He looks good, man. It may take him a while because he's in a division where it's a tough division that he's in. You got Pat Mahomes you got to deal with. I mean, who knows where Herbert is going to turn into? And then the Raiders are just a whole mess. Until they get themselves a quarterback, who knows what's going to happen? Walter comes in and says, yo, we got the second worst defense in the playoffs. It should worry you at least a little. That's why we need to get up on score offensively. Having a terrible defense isn't the end of the world, especially going to the playoffs, because there are teams that have won the Super Bowl that didn't have like a league-leading defense. Just enough to have an offense that can put the points on the board, and then when pressure succumbs, I mean, people make mistakes. Defensively, I know we're not the greatest. We have our flaws, 100%, right? But at one point, we were, amongst the top 10 defensively in point scoring. So it's a matter of how our offense rolls. If our offense does what it needs to do, then it makes our defense a lot more potent and changing the game. And now we're in an attack mode instead of us being in prevent mode. So there's a lot that sits on what our offense does. So you want our offense to get a quick start. And if it doesn't, then this is where you have a moment where you're like, oh, okay, let's see how this all plays out. The one thing that kills us if strong backs and power backs like Javonte Williams, once these boys get momentum and we're a little light up front, bro, they could be problematic. Very problematic. I forgot what team was it that all of a sudden decided to be a freaking run first team and they were killing us running the football. I'm trying to recall who it was. Let me see. I'm trying to remember who it was. I mean, Kyron Williams was running all over us like nobody's business. But who was it that was kicking our butts and just running all over us? I just couldn't remember who it was. I know when we played the Jets, all of a sudden the Jets became such a run team. Kenneth Walker, we put him down. We sat him down. Who was it? I just can't remember who it was, but somebody was just running amok on us. I was like, whoa, what are we doing? Why can't we get a stop here? So we're hoping that these big, powerful, strong backs don't, get started. Don't get going because it can become a very problematic moment for us. So we gotta, get our act together quickly. Very quickly. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. My man Mafia Talk. He goes, Rico, what's up, brother? Happy New Year. Nothing but love for you and the fam. Cheers. 2025 Bills Super Bowl winning year. Listen, man, all we want is a Bills Super Bowl year. This is all we want as Bills fans, man. So salute to you, Mafia Talk. I see you, bro. All love. Always. All love, man. If you know me personally, I don't do that stuff, man. I'm just a chill guy. So whatever happens under the bridge, man, we do what we do. Happy New Year, bro. Let's keep it pushing, baby. Let's keep it pushing. All right, let's move on to another comment here. I'm trying to scroll as much as I can, brother. So I appreciate y'all having some patience with me because I had to scroll all the way up so I didn't miss any questions or comments coming from folks. My man Walter comes in and says, yo, I hate the Brady comparison because Brady never had to worry about his defense. Touche. Don't get me wrong, Brady is the GOAT, but his teams weren't getting drubbed defensively. In fact, it contributed heavily. There are some moments, you're not wrong, man. Although I like the Brady comparison, and I know what you're saying, don't get me wrong, but I like the Brady comparison because it's more of a compliment to Josh Allen has emerged. I mean, he's evolved his game. He's smarter. He's seen a lot more. I mean, the longer you're in this game, the more defenses you see, the more schemes you see, and you're like, yo, I'm not falling for that. Right? Who was it? Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers like, you're not coming. Move. When you get to that point in your career, and I think Josh is eventually going to get there, and he's on his way, it don't matter who you bring me as offensive coordinator, man. Just set me up. But what Walter's saying is Tom Brady never had to worry about that because that defense always held him down. There were moments where that defense was the one kicking butt, and Tom Brady just had to be a facilitator. He just had to be a game manager multiple times. But he's the GOAT for a reason. Very complimentary, good quarterback, solid. I mean, Hall of Fame quarterback, man. The GOAT. He's that good. He's that dude. But I know what you're saying, Walter. I totally understand what Walter's saying. Let me see. What's my man Nick saying? Nick says Denver is dangerous for the Bills. Peyton has won a Super Bowl and is in 1 year has turned the Broncos around. They are not to be taken lightly. I 100% agree. 100% agree. That's why I was saying I am a little nervous. I'm not going to lie, because you have essentially a team that has nothing to lose, right? They were on the brink of potentially not making the playoffs, and all of a sudden they strung a couple wins together. They had a 4-game win streak where it kind of propped them up, and all of a sudden they're well within, striking to get into the playoffs, let alone they went toe-to-toe, neck for neck with the Chiefs. And it came down to a blocked field goal. Think about it. So they have a lot of confidence. They know they can play with the best of them. They know they can. So to take these Broncos lightly, oh my gosh, no. Heck no. I certainly am not. I'm sitting here going, yo, man, I'm a little shook a little bit because these boys are coming in hot. They're coming in hot. Terry Pagula has been awful for the Sabres. He's won so many Stanley Cups for other hockey organizations. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you can put it that way. I suppose. I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, he seems to not meddle. He could be a Jerry Jones and a meddling owner that wants to just have everything in there. Yo, he just lets these guys do what they do, and away they go. So I'm okay with his style of being an owner, of not meddling too much. All right, here we go. My man Cameron says, "Yo, Rico, hype it up with some epic highlights from the season. Slow, show the Broncos why they need to feel, why they. Excuse me, you got me reading like I'm dyslexic here. Here we go. Let me try it again. Yo, Rico, hype it up with some epic highlights from this season. Show them Broncos why they need to feel the fear. Broncos bloopers so we can compare. I will. If I can try to jump on tomorrow, or if it's gonna be Friday, probably cut up some clips a little bit to see what's up with these Broncos, man. Because I kind of want to look at the Broncos myself and see what they say and see what they look like truly. Running back says, if Audric Estime and Javonte Williams get going, the Bills are in trouble. It won't be pretty. I know it won't, because we haven't run the ball. Remember that. It won't, because we haven't ran the ball all year. Estime is a big boy. I remember wanting to draft Estime. Estime is a big boy. Javonte is a big boy. I mean, looking at statistically, they got 4 guys over 400 yards rushing. Estime is at 3 and change. All right, but Bo Nix, you got obviously Javonte, and you got McClellan or whatever his name is. So they go running back by committee is pretty much what they're doing. So I mean, shoot, if these boys get going though, honestly, and they get going downhill, and we have no answer for them, it could be a very long day. And Sean Payton will not let up. He will continue. And then you get the play action going, and then Courtland Sutton or Mims downfield. We have to be as disciplined as possible, 100%. Laura says, I'm nervous, but also very confident. We will outplay and outwit them. McDermott needs to continue being the more aggressive than conservative. And he has been. He's kind of left the whole conservative football mantra behind. He has his moments where he may revert back to, but I mean, play calls there's Babbage. So Babbage is the one doing his thing. So I'm sure there's a lot of counsel from McDermott, but it's the Babbage. So Babbage has got it down pat. All right. Walter says, yo, if we need to rely on offense, how is that any different than the last 4 years? This isn't the regular season. No team is winning a Super Bowl purely from one side of the ball. These teams are too good. They certainly are, but you got to put points on the game, man. You got to put points on the board. Very rare that we saw such a defensive game between the Vikings and the Lions the other day, but those type of games do happen. And then you have the Rams and Bills. But at the end of the day, it does come down to defense. You got to make a couple stops. As long as you make a couple stops to give your team the advantage to get up a score or two, sometimes that's all it takes. I don't need you to be, elite and you're stopping the team all day. And if you do, great. 2 stops, maybe 3, that could be the difference that gets us the win. And that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Let me keep it going here. Jonathan Clark says, last season, Josh threw 177 yards, 1 TD, and 2 picks versus Denver, the Denver defense. I expect him to protect the ball this time. Also, Cook had over 100 yards in that game. That game was a weird game. I thought we were the better team, to be honest with you. And I think, and don't forget, Ken Dorsey was also still the coordinator in that game, if I remember correctly. And I think that's the game after that is when Brady took over. So there was some play calling issues and some mishaps that took place. But Josh throwing for 177 yards. Take what the defense gives. You got to take what the defense gives you. And I think he's in a much better headspace, less pressure on him a little bit, and everyone absolutely knows their role and accepting of their role. Don't forget, man, we were dealing with my man Diggs that was not accepting of his role. So you had to almost keep him happy and do all these things. So a happier Josh, a clear-minded Josh is a better Josh for these Bills. I think that played a huge part. Huge part. Broncos are pretty decent, man. We definitely can't sleep on them, but we have a feeling James Cook will go crazy. So this is where I jump in with this running back game. So who was it? Dan Orlovsky today was talking, and Steve Tasker said, do we have to treat these Broncos like we treated the Lions when we took advantage of them with our running backs in the flat and getting our burn backs out in space? We lead the league. The Bills PR came up with this, the Bills PR team. we lead the league with running backs catching the football out of the backfield with receptions, yards, and I think touchdowns. We are the best team with the best receiving backs in the league. So if we're going to take advantage anywhere, just like we did against the Lions, where we saw something and Joe Brady was like, this is what we do and this is what we attack, I could totally see James Cook being a big part. And another thing too, folks, a big part of this offense, and I kind of, I don't want to say I hate it, but when we kept on saying Josh did it without anybody, I kind of was disappointed that we kept on saying that, because it was like almost like an insult to James Cook, right? And I know most of y'all are like, yeah, but you didn't really want James Cook. You wanted Breece Hall. All right, we're over with that. Okay, guys, let it go. But for real, though, James Cook with minimal touches, that boy put over 1,000 yards. And we kept on saying, Josh didn't have it. I understood why we were doing it. Lesser talent. Well, James Cook could play. And a lot of the success that this team has had has been how great this offensive line has been and how smooth and patient James Cook has been behind the line, which has given us huge, huge plays. This boy is running 5 yards a pop. That's huge for Josh. So first and 10. Now you're 2nd and 5. Play action, a dump off here. Now you 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. You know what's coming. Tush push. So a running game that is going to settle us is definitely going to give us an advantage. But here's the big thing. They got some big boys in the trenches in Denver. Denver is not going to get pushed around. They have one of the better defenses in the game. So the trenches is going to be of utmost importance when we face this Broncos team. So we would all love for the run game to be, ready to roll and to just slam it down them all day long. But they got some boys in the trenches. But what I love about this matchup is Edwards, McGovern, and Osiris have been playing exceptional ball. This is one of the better offensive lines in the game. I don't know if I showed you guys this year. I'm going to show you another. Let me see if I don't know if I showed you guys this one yet, but let me just take a look here. Looking at the offensive line here. So look at that. And this is in terms of pass protection, by the way. Look where the Broncos are. They are legit in protecting Bo Nix. But the Bills aren't too far behind. So you got a good squad over here. But so do the Bills. So I'm confident that the Bills will be able to find some kind of rhythm, get that ball running big, get that ball rolling, and go from there. But, listen, man, the Broncos are going to be a challenge. They're going to be a problem. So we'll see how that all shakes out, and we'll see how that goes. The official Buffalo Bills YouTube channel put together an awesome season highlight video. It was great. It posted a few hours ago. I'll definitely check that out a little later. All right, folks, before I get out of here, I'm going to read a couple, and then I gotta dip because I got to work in the morning. My man Walter comes in and says, we need 2 more stops in the fourth quarter game, and we shouldn't be ashamed to ask for that. To say you're happy with 2 stops is saying you're fine with literally the last 4 playoff games. Walter doesn't want to let it go. No, Walter, I'm not going to let you do that to me. Hold on. When I say 2 or 3 stops, I don't give a damn when the 2-3 stops come. As long as the 2-3 stops make the difference in winning the game. That's what matters to me. If those 2-3 stops come in the fourth quarter, so be it. Sometimes those 2-3 stops are enough for a team to just get the win. And sometimes the win is just all we need, because it's the NFL, man. You know how these coaches are cliche. It's so hard to win in this league. You know it is. So if those 2-3 stops come early, which gives us the advantage in the late run, because it happens. A missed field goal could be the difference at the end of a game because of a defensive stop that we made, or a punt block, or whatever the case is. As long as it's made somewhere along the lines, that's what it is. Let's go back to the Rams game. That punt block was the difference in the game. That punt doesn't happen, it changes the whole game. That's one play. So if I take 2 to 3 plays that happens in the fourth quarter, great. If it's a crucial play that happens in the third that eventually gets us the win, I'll take that too. As long as you make more stops than the other team, at least for me, that's what matters. I mean, obviously, offensively, we've got to do what we do, but defensively, because that's been our thorn in our side. We all know that. There's no denying that. That's what needs to take place. My man, William 30. What up, Will? What's up, Rico? Greetings from Sydney, Australia. Hello, mate. Bills are already 2-point favorites over Baltimore in a potential divisional round matchup. Golly, Vegas already has that? Holy smokes, man. Vegas is too much. Yo, Vegas is too much, man. Golly. All right, bet. I'll take that. But we have business to attend to. I mean, I hope that we just get rid of the Broncos and we beat them soundly and we look all right. But if we have to face the Ravens, boy, is that going to be a game. That is going to be a game. Golly. I'm not overlooking the Broncos, Laura says. She says playoffs get serious. Bills got to play for our lives, man. Honestly, this is probably our best shot. We got to make it happen, man. At the end of the day, we got to make it happen. That's all it takes. Anyway, Abby, have yourself a great night, and thank you for tuning in, obviously. You know, much love to my girl, Abby. Cassandra, don't forget to smash that like, fam. We got 300 plus in here. What up, folks? Smash that like for you, boy. And we'll get it cracking. Before y'all get out of here, though, we trying to get to 30K, baby. We trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. You know how hard it is to get there? It is, man. Like, you put the hours in, you put all these things, and we don't do it just to get the likes. It's just nice to say, hey, you have a YouTube channel? And and the crazy thing is, believe it or not, my daughters are the one that hype me up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will hold you. My daughter's like, Dad, where's your YouTube channel? Your likes are and the subscribers. How much do you have? And I say, I think we're like around 29,000, and we're trying to get to 30. Can I tell my friend? Yo, my dad's that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? And this is something that I just do for fun, and we have a good time. But it's nice when the kids are, invested in seeing what dad does. You know what I mean? So let's get this channel to 30K, baby. Let's go. Anyway, that's my time. I appreciate y'all. If you guys could be so inclined, smash that like for your boy. If you have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. And we'll be back again on Friday with my man Z-Bot. If I have the time, I'm going to try to be back again tomorrow. I'm going to hit up my man Carl Jones. I'm going to try to get my man Carl Jones on. I need his insight. You guys already know what time it is with Carl. So get his insight. And you know who I was talking to the other day that's going to be making a comeback, just so y'all know? Kevin, the Dolphins fan. I know y'all love Kevin. So I'm going to be my man Kevin back. We were talking. He's like, hey, man, I missed the show. I haven't been on with you in a while. I was like, Kev, the people would love to see Papa Peck back on screen with me. So we'll try to get Papa Peck back in there. And he's always an unbiased and objective fan. I love Kev for that. So Kev, I'm going to try to get Kev on with me sometime this week or next week, and then we'll keep it rolling, hopefully next week. So, folks, that's my time. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. So, listen, folks, I think tomorrow I'll see you, and then we'll get Z-Bot and I on Friday. So enjoy the rest of your evening. It's your boy Rico, and enjoy your evening. Catch you on the flip side. Let me get my band across the parking lot. Y'all enjoy yourself. Talk to you soon. Peace.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.